The knocking in the dark. In the late 1980s, in a small town in Turkey, a woman named Alisa moved into her late grandfather's old village house after losing her husband. The house, located on the edge of a forest and far from the rest of the village, was known for its eerie reputation. Some locals claimed the house was cursed, but Alisa dismissed these superstitions. Determined to raise her two children and rebuild her life, she decided to make the house her new home. A few weeks after moving in, strange events began to unfold. One night, as everyone slept, the front door was pounded loudly. It was past midnight. Alisa woke up in fear and cautiously approached the door. Peeking out through the window, she saw no one. This incident repeated itself over the next few nights. Each time the door would knock at the same hour, but when Alisa opened it, there was nothing and no one outside. One night, she gathered her courage and decided to watch from the window. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, her heart raced. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness. It slowly approached the door, but it had no face. Just an empty, dark void where a face should have been. Terrified, Alisa yanked the curtain shut and screamed. After that night, the strange occurrences escalated inside the house. The children claimed they could hear someone walking around in their rooms at night. Meanwhile, Alisa began hearing faint whispers from the kitchen during the early morning hours. The whispers sounded like prayers or curses, but she couldn't understand the words. One morning, Alisa found her youngest child sitting in the kitchen holding an old wooden box. The child explained they had found it buried in the yard. Inside the box was a tattered amulet inscribed with strange, ancient Turkish writing. Alisa took the amulet to the local imam, who turned pale as soon as he saw it. "This is a curse talisman," he explained. "Someone has cast a powerful curse on this house." Despite the imam's warning, Alisa had nowhere else to go and decided to stay. That night, the terror reached its peak. Shortly after midnight, the door and windows began shaking violently, as if someone or something was trying to force its way in. A chilling voice, louder than her children's terrified cries, echoed through the house. The voice repeatedly whispered Alisa's name. She huddled in a corner with her children, trembling in fear. Suddenly, the front door creaked open on its own. Standing in the doorway was the faceless figure, its hollow presence radiating an oppressive darkness. Alisa clutched her children tightly and began to pray. As she recited her prayers, the figure slowly retreated into the shadows. The house grew silent once more. At dawn, Alisa packed up what little she could and fled the house with her children. She never returned. Locals claim the house remains cursed, and even today, some swear they can still hear eerie screams echoing from within its walls. Though Alisa managed to escape, the horrifying events left an indelible mark on her life. To this day, no one has dared to set foot in that house again.